Okay, in part two, we're going to go through the drums. We're going to go through the Planetary gear set. This here, the double drum is second, third. This is first gear, and this is the direct Sprag. So the first thing we'll do is take the forward or input clutches out. Okay, you have 4 frictions, steels, and the pressure plate. And throughout these transmissions, these later models, they're all molded pistons. So now this spline's on, so we're going to pop this drum out. That, when you're prying this drum out, you want to be careful that you don't hit the check ball, the bleed ball, because you could damage that and it could possibly cause leaks. So you want to make sure that's out of the way. And this is the forward drum. Okay, the next there's a couple of O-rings on here, which we're going to take off, which seal the forward drum. Okay, now we're going to take this out. This is there's a washer in here, and this is a Sprag. Turns one way, locks the other way. Can't turn it that way. Okay, these are the direct frictions. They don't look too bad, but being the fact that this transmission was full of water, they're all going to be changed. This here is the intermediate, or second. Okay, we got a wave plate on the bottom. And then we have clutches and steels. Intermediate. And again, that's a molded piston. That's also a molded piston. And this is the second and third clutch drum. Okay, this is reverse. Got another wave steel on the bottom. And again, the clutches and steels, they're all going to be changed due to the water. Okay, next we got the Planetary gear set. This is held together with the snap ring. So we're going to pop that out. There's that. Okay, this is your front planet. You got a washer in between, a bearing in between. This is your front planet. I like to check these gears, make sure they do not rock back and forth. Here is your rear planet. Again, make sure the gears spin. That looks good. And then you have your ring gear. That's Planetary gear set. Now here is your Overdrive band drum. And in here is the input Sprag, which turns one way and locks the other way. And even though this is an input Sprag, this Sprag is on in forward and in reverse. Okay, so we're actually going to take this thing right out, like that. And this is an element Sprag here. Okay. There's another piece here, another cap for the Sprag. Okay, so that is the input Sprag, Overdrive band drum. Okay, this here is the center, the housing for the differential support, final drive support. Again, this houses the low intermediate piston, and this is just a spacer plate that goes on here. Then you have your coast band. Here is your overdrive band. Everything going to get changed. Your drive chain, which usually stretches, that would have to be changed. Okay, now, this here is your support housing. I call it the 5-ring tower. This houses seals and applies the 3 sets of clutches, the forward, the intermediate, and the direct clutch. This has a washer. This washer is selective. There's also another plastic washer on this side. I'm going to take that off. Okay, again, this is the accumulator springs and pistons. This is the 1-2 accumulator. This is the 2-3 accumulator. This is the neutral reverse accumulator. And this is the 3-4 accumulator. And this is the thermal element down here. Okay, this is your valve body and pump assembly. The pump is here, the top part where the solenoids are. The valve body is down here. I'm going to just chunk this down real quick. And the cover that houses the pump gear. Okay. This is your pump assembly, your rotor with your vanes. I'm going to take that out. And your centering rings. Now we're going to split the halves. Put that in. This here, got a lot of cleaning to do. So this here is your pump assembly, and in here is a bearing and seal, which seals the pump shaft for the torque converter. So this comes up here, and there's a seal here, and it seals it for the TCC lockup. That's going to get changed. I change that on every overhaul. This is a manual valve. This is your valve body. This is the sleeve where the rings ride on this pump shaft. It goes in here. Okay. What I did was I just paused the camera, I went over to my foot press, took all the snap rings out. Now we can disassemble the drums completely. Again, starting with the front drum, you have your snap ring and your return springs. This is your forward piston. Okay, the one thing with the forward pistons is they're all different heights, so you want to be careful. There's a tall and a short, so you want to make sure that you get the correct one for the application that you're working on. Okay, this is the reverse drum. Again, snap ring, return springs, and this piston is not a molded piston. This is a steel piston, and these come off these lip seals. There's one here. And there's one on the inside here. I got my tank heating up. I put all this stuff in and wash it. Okay, this is the low intermediate. There is a plastic washer on top that you have to take off before you can press the springs down to get the snap ring out. And the piston is a molded piston. Okay, also on this housing, during the overhaul, there are the 2 seals. One is for lube, and one is for applying the low intermediate clutch, so you want to make sure those get changed on the overhaul. Now we have the intermediate and direct clutch. The intermediate has a molded balance piston, the return spring, and it has a piston. A little tough to come out. Okay? And it's a piston for the intermediate clutch. That's what that setup looks like in the drum, with the snap ring on top. Okay, now this is the direct clutch, springs, and piston. These sprockets here, right on the chain, there's different ones and there's different amount of teeth on them. So if you ever have to change these sprockets, you have to make sure you have the exact tooth count. If you do not have the exact tooth count, the computer's not going to recognize the ratio and possibly throw some ratio codes. Also, may throw a 741 code, may knock it out of the lockup. So you want to make sure you have the exact number on the drive and driven. This is the drive sprocket. This then goes into the converter. This is the driven sprocket on this side, which is the other side to the drums on this unit. All right, when you disassemble these drums, there is a lip seal on this side. This is a lip seal for the direct. Now on the intermediate, it's not a lip seal, it's more of a D-ring. But on these trannies, on these units, if you have a molded piston, it's going to take a D-ring. If you have a steel piston, instead of taking a D-ring, it's going to take a lip seal. That's on the intermediate, so that you got to watch to see what comes out, and you got to be careful to what you put back in. Got to make sure you put the right seal in. Also here on the forward drum, everything's all swelled up from the water. Look at, I can just squeeze it and take this right out. So this is the transmission down and cleaned. It's going to be ready for assembly. It's going to take a banner kit, which consists of paper rubber rings and seals, clutches, and molded pistons. It's going to get both bands, all electronics, and more than likely a radiator. So again, my name's Gary, and I'm filming this at my shop in New York on Long Island. I'm doing transmissions a long time. This particular shop has been in my family for almost 50 years. And I'm new to YouTube, so I hope you enjoy the video, and you can leave your questions, comments, and even suggestions below, and I'll be sure to read them. And once again, thanks for watching.